clustering, add features, next, install. So ጎን ለጎን run ስለሚያደርጉ ጊዜ ይቆጥቡልናል. Let's go back and see if one has completed. ይሄ finish አድርጓል. Let's close that. It's gonna need a restart. Okay, እዚህ ጋር ካየነው ጨርሷል ይላል ግን it's gonna you must restart ይላል. Okay, ሪስታርቱ ስላለም ነው አሁን ማድረግ የፈለግነው because domains join ሲያደርግ ሪስታርት ማድረጋችን አይቀርም. So let me come back and just summarize what I just did. So after this is promoted to the domain controller, it's ካደረግነው በኋላ ይሄንን ስቴፕ በመከተል ሪስታርት አደረግነው and then now it's open waiting for others to join it. Okay, then we came down here, we did the same on Azure portal. ቅድም አድርገናል IP addressቸውን static አድርገን they joined the DNS server. The same for node 1, node 2, and node 3. We did the same. And then RDP again, they are here open and RDP ተደርገው. And then on all of them, we added a future enroll failover cluster add again, which is running right now. Okay. Yeah, one ጨርሷል. Yeah, 2 and 3 is still pending. As soon as we finish that, እዚህ ጋር እንመጣና node 1, we join it to the domain controller. If this is properly configured, ቅድም ከላይ የመጣናቸው ስቴፖች IP address, especially a DNS ምናምን የሚለው ነገር properly configure ከተደረገ, we should be able to successfully join node 1 to domain controller. Otherwise, some issue, some የሆነ ቦታ break አድርጓል ማለት ነው. So we should be able to do that if we follow the steps. So let's see again if, okay, this one also completed. So let's minimize it. Let's go to node 3. That's also completed. Let's minimize that. So let's start from node 1. Join and argo here. So for this, we do the same, most of the stuff, primary step like as the Windows Server Manager line. So we come to the local server. And now you can see the name of this computer is Baro node 1. Here a lot of stuff are, you know, by default ያሉ ናቸው. In the background IP address one, local ኦራክል ምናምን የሚለየው IP አድሬሱን እዚህ ጋር ነው ኮንፊገር የምናደርገው። የዚህኛው ግን የአዙር እዛው ፕላትፎርሙ ላይ ስለሚደረግ ይሄንን አንነካው። we just leave it alone. We can turn off the firewall. You know, there might be a lot of issues that we might encounter successfully ስራችንን ለመስራት የሚያግዱን። ስለዚህ it's better to turn them off. ሁሉንም የፕራይቬትም ይሁን ፐብሊክ ዶሜን ምናምን የሚባሉ የፋየርዋል ሩሎችን or restrictionዎችን turn off እናደርግና መጀመሪያ እዚህ ጋር ኦን ያሳያል። ሪፍሬሽ እስከምንለው ድረስ አያሳይም ኦፍ መሆኑን። as soon as we refresh we can see it's off. እዚህ ጋር sometimes, you know, some people they want to access the internet, okay, or ከኢንተርኔት የሚመጣ ማንኛውም ኮሙኒኬሽን ዲስተርብ እንዳያደርገንም ከፈለግን we can turn it off. Okay, so we can refresh that also. See, that's off. Okay, now it's ready to join the domain. All we have to do is work group የሚለው ላይ we click on work group. We are on node 1 line ያለ ነው. Okay, so just to keep you on track, እዚህ ጋር ነው ያለሁት. Join node 1 to DC using the domain user and password. We're going to see that in a moment. Okay, so ይሄንን የነካሁት work group የሚለውን change name ስሙን እዚህ ጋር ከፈለጋችሁ መቀየር ትችላላችሁ። but this አውቄ ይሄንን መጀመሪያው ነው ስለፈለኩት እሱ ነው። I will just keep it as is. and then domain ውስጥ ቅድም ክሬት ያደረኩትን baro.com domain ሰጠዋለሁ ማለት ነው። so let's see the details. Sometimes እንዳልኳችሁ error ካለ something must be a problem for a domain.
ምናልባት ሜሊ እኔ እንግዲህ በአዥር ላይ ሳይሆን በኦራክል ላይ ስለማቅ ነው ሪሞቱን አላው ማድረግ ምናምን ሜክ ሹር አድርግ። ምናልባት እሱም አንዱ እዚሁ ላይ አሁን የነበርክበት ስክሪን ላይ ሪሞቱን አድርገው አላው አድርገው ላይ አሁን የከፈትከው
which here
remote ላይ እሷን አላው አድርጋት። okay, so already
yeah,
okay,
yeah. So, yeah, some network is sometimes fail ያደርጋል. So we'll try to figure out. Restartም ሊፈልግ ይችላል. Actually we're going to restart them actually.
Sometimes when there is
yeah.
domain change ካረክ በኋላ start ካላደረገ ኤረር ፊለር ያመጣል። ስለዚህ ሀብቱ ሜሽን ሪስታርት ማድረግ አለ።
ያ ቅድም እንዳልኳችሁ እዚህ ጋር ይሄ ራሱ ሪስታርት መደረግ አለበት ይላል። I was trying to save
any
time.
configuration ከቀየር ሪስታርት ማድረግ አለ።
I kind of thought of that ግን አቋራጭ እጅ ሰዓት ሴቭ ለማድረግ አስቤ ነው።
ሌላ ደግሞ ሚሊ እዚህ ላይ አድ ማድረግልህ ኮንፊግሬሽን ማናጀር ላይ ሄደ ኤኔብል አድርጋቸው ቲሲፒ አይፒዎቹንም እነሱንም ቼክ አድርጋቸው በኦራክል በዛ አይዲያ ኮንፊግሬሽን ማናጀር ላይ ሄደ ቲሲፒ አይፒዎቹን ሁሉንም ኢኔብል አድርጋቸው።
that's actually more of የSQL server level ሲሆን ነው። I think if you are talking about the SQL server configuration manager, SQL server ጋር ስላልደረስን የSQL server connectivity issue አይደለም። ይሄ ኦፕሬቲንግ ሲስተም ሌቭል ዊንዶውስ ሌቭል
you're right. Configuration manager SQL ላይ ነው፣ ይሄኛው ዊንዶውስ ላይ ነው። ገና ዊንዶው ክለስተር
ሪስታርቱ
ሪስታርት ስላላረክን ያልቀየራል።
Definitely. I mean, I kind of thought sometimes ሰርቶልኝ ስለነበረ I wanted to save time. ያው እንዳሳየዋችሁ ሪስታርቱ ግዴታ ነው of course. Again, sometimes it kind of successfully works if you don't, even if you don't do restart, but we're just gonna go by what you guys are suggesting. I think it should work after that. Okay, all right, let's see. So ሁሉም ተዘግቷል። ይሄ ብቻ ነው የቀረው። ይሄ ሪስታርት ተደርጎ ስለነበረ ያው ይጠብቃል ጆይን እስኪያደርጉት። So እዚህ ጋር ሪስታርት ምናምን የሚለው ኦፕሽን I kind of put it for my own note, ግን I was trying to go around it. Okay, but unlucky. All right, I think it looks like node 1 is restarted. እሱን አፕዴት እያደረግን ሌሎቹን እንጠብቃለን። They could catch up to us. Download, open. All right, still local user no. Okay. going ስላላደረጉ okay. በሎካል ኮምፒውተር ዩዘር ኔም and password ነው የምንገባው። So you can start from here. ሌሎቹ ሪስታርት እስኪያደርጉ ወይም ደግሞ መጠበቅ እንችላለን። Depends on how fast this is going to be up and running. Okay, so we'll go to local server. So we don't have any warning ምናምን የለም እዚህ ጋር ቅድም warning ነበረ። Everything turn it off. Workgroup change domain .com. Okay. That sucks. What else did I forget to configure? So this information is entered. Okay. So let's check one more thing. Let's check the IP address. CMD. ይሰራል ድምጽ ጋይስ? I think የጉግል ክላሱ መሰለኝ የሆነ ታይም ላይ እንትን ይለኛል። So the only problem I can think of is the DNS has too many IP addresses right here. Let me go back and fix something. We should be able to fix that on VNet. Okay. So there might be a little more restart on this end. I think I'm gonna restart this guy after changing the network. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually make this guy use the same subnet. Okay. Okay. think the others are using the subnet too, right?
So you're going to make the domain controller use the same subnet?
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, they could use the same subnet. There is no problem with that. The only reason we prefer to put them on a different subnet is to have them have a dedicated network. So yeah, let's try it this way, and I'm gonna fix the
Meaning the node to the same subnet because on subnet subnet the domain controller domain controller subnet
yeah, so that sometimes
the network domain controller because the subnet node can on subnet እነሱ ነው የምትሰጣቸው። ስለዚህ የዶሜን ኮንትሮለር ላይ ኢንትሮዲውስ ለማድረግ በሰብኔቱ ነው የምትሄደው።
ያ እኮ ገብቶኛል። so now looking at the command prompt እዚህ ጋር ዲኤንኤሱን የተለያየ አይፒ አድሬስ ላይ ስላሉ ለምሳሌ the nodes they have this IP which starts is on 1 እነዚህ እንትኑ ደግሞ ምንድነው DCU 0 ላይ ነው ያለው እና we're trying to join this guys onto the domain controller እና so it's outside the subnet, that's why it's failing. So this should resolve the issue. Let me restart this and then this one will shut off actually. So ድጋሜ run እናደርገዋለን ይሄንን IP config. As soon as this number matches actually እዛ ላይም እዚህ vnet ላይም የሚጨምረው ነገር አለ የዛ IP አድሬስ ሲቀየር. So we'll do a lot of configuration and we should be able to fix it. So we'll take this one out ማለት ነው ምክንያቱም ይሄኛው የዲሲው ነበረ. So they all are gonna have kind of the same similar የሆነ እንትን
million. Sorry. እንትኑ ማለት ነው like domain controller we don't need to the subnets because subnets የሚያስፈልጉ ለሶስቱ domain እንትኖች ኖዶች ነው። የመጀመሪያው ራሱን የቻለ አንድ አይፒ ነምበር ይይዛል ዶሜን ኮንትሮሉ። ከዛ ሶስቱ ደግሞ ሰብኔት በኮንትሮል በዶሜን ኮንትሮሉ ስር ሰብኔት ምንስ በዶሜን ኮንትሮሉ ስር የሚቀመጡ ኔትወርኮች ናቸው which is IP ነምበሮች ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ በሱ ስር ነው ሶስቱን IP ነምበሮች የምንይዘው ለሶስቱ ዶሜን እንትኖች ኖዶች።
Yeah, so either way communicate የሚያደርጉበት ኔትወርክ ስለሚያስፈልግ
ኮሙኒኬት የሚያደርጉበት ኔትወርኩ or ደግሞ IP ነምበሩ የመጀመሪያው ነው ዶሜን ኮንትሮል ላይ ያለው።
ሲን ታረግ መሰለ ሚሊ ፒንግ አርጋቸው።
Yeah, let me connect to the other guys also. The member nodes ወይም ደግሞ እዚህ node 1 node 2 ምናምን ያልኳቸው they are not RDP. Hold on. I'm gonna have to fix this actually. This is where the communication starts. DNS server ላይ ማለት ነው. So one thing that I wanted to do is I want to go back to Baro DC because these guys they could talk to each other if you know they are properly configured ስለሆኑ ማለት ነው። ይሄኛው ግን it's outside their network, that's why they cannot join him. አሁን እኮ DCU ላይ ነው እነዚህ join ማድረግ የፈለጉት አይደለ? Okay, so the only thing that makes them like have a something in common is a DNS server ላይ መመዝገባቸው ነው IP አድሬሳቸው።
Exactly. ከነሱ ጋር ከዲሲዩ ጋር እኮ ካልተገናኙ ሬጂስተር ላይ ሆኖ ነው ማለት ነው። ላይ ሆኖ
Exactly. So የሆነ something in common ያላቸው ኔትወርክ መኖር አለበት። So ለምሳሌ እኮ ዲሲዩ
ኔትወርካቸው እኮ ዶሜን ኮንትሮል
ያ ሚል የሚለው ልክ ነው። ዴዲኬትድ የሆነ አይፒ አድሬስ ሶስቱ አክሰስ የሚያደርጉት ዴዲኬትድ የሆነ አንድ አይፒ አድሬስ ያስፈልገናል። then በዛ each node starts communicate each other via dedicated በሆነ አይፒ አድሬስ ነው I think ሚል የሚለውና that's the right way ትክክለኛው አካሄድ እሱኛው ነው።
Yeah, so here with the IP address for Baro DC could be changed to so the subnet I thought I changed it. So I'm going to use this one. Okay. It's using it. That's why it's not letting it. Yeah, this is kind of like usually trouble in Yamata in networking part 2, no? Let me see again how I can change this. So it's not going to delete this while it's using it, right? So there's I have to figure out to change how to change the ይህንን ቀይሮ የሚያውቅ ሰው አለ የሚጠቀመውን ሰብኔት?
አንተ እንዳልከው ምናልባት ልክ እንደ ኦራክሉ ፓወር ኦፍ አድርገው ሊሆን ይችላል ዲሊት ሊሆን የሚችለው ኤኒቲንግ ዲሊት ለማድረግ ያው ኦራክል ላይም እንደዛ ነው።
ያ
እዚህ ጋር ግን ሚሊ አንድ እዚህ ዲኤንኤሱ ላይ አራቱንም ማስገባት የሚጠበቅብህ አይመስለኝም።
ዲኤንኤስ ሰርቨሩ ላይ መመዝገብ ይችላሉ ሁሉም።
ለምን መሰለህ ኮሙኒኬት ለማድረግ በሰብኔቱ ነው ኮሙኒኬት የሚያደርጉ። አንዱ ለዲሲው ነው፣ አንዱ ለኖዶቹ ነው፣ በሶስቱ ኖዶች። ስለዚህ እነሱን ካደረግናቸው በኋላ ራሱ ኢንትሮዲዩስ በምታደርግበት ሰዓት የራሱን አይፒ አድሬስ ይሰጣቸዋል። ራሱ ቢገናኙበት ዶሜን ኮንትሮል
በኦራክል ነው
ኖ
ኮንቴክስት ነው። Okay, so according to you here, you're saying that these guys are not should not be entered here?
መጀመሪያ የሰጠኸው ሰብኔት አለ አይደለ? አንዱ የባሮ ዲሲ ሰብኔት ነው። አንደኛው ደግሞ የኖዶቹ የሶስቱ ኖዶች ሰብኔት ነው። ዲኤንኤስ ላይ ኢንትሮዲዩስ የምታደርገው ሁለቱ ኮሙኒኬት የሚያደርጉት አንዱ ለዲሲው ነው፣ አንደኛው ደግሞ ለኖዶቹ ነው። ስለዚህ ኢንትሮዲዩስ በምታደርግበት ሰዓት ሁለቱ ኮሙኒኬት ያደርጉና ለሶስቱ ኖዶች የራሳቸውን አይፒ አድሬስ ይሰጣቸዋል ዶሜን ኮንትሮለሩ ማለት ነው። ያ ማለት ግን ስታቲክ የሆነ አይፒ አድሬስ ነው የሚሰጣቸው ለራሳቸው ማለት ነው። እና አንተ ስታቲክ ያደረግከውን አይነካው። ስለዚህ ሁለቱን ብቻ ስጥና ዲኤንኤስ ላይ ሌላውን ተወውና ሞክረው ፕሮሞት ለማድረግ ስማቸው።
Okay. Yeah, let's try this ይሄኛውንም ስቴፕ እንሞክርና I think I hear what you're saying. If this one doesn't resolve it, we're gonna go that step. Let's see if we can delete this guy now.
ሳይመን አንተ ባልከውም ይሆናል። እኔም በዚህ መንገድ ሞክሬው ሰርቶልኛል። ከዚህ በፊት ሴም ኢሹ ነበረን። አይ ቲንክ ከሚሊ ጋር አንድ እንትን ነበረን ፕሮጀክት ላይ ነው። I was fixing this issue the same እንትን ማለት ነው። እና ፕሮባብሊ አንተ ያልከውን መንገድ ይሰራል። ቲፕ ላርክ ብዬ ነው ሌላ ኦልተርናቲቭ ወይ እንዳለ።
Yeah, it's for some reason it says I've changed it. It's not getting rid of it. Okay, let me go to virtual network actually. Okay, subnets. So it took us to the same page. So the connected device are all of them. So this one is using, so these three are using subnet 2. Okay. This is our Paro DC, right? Yeah. Okay. There was a space where you could change the የሚጠቀመውን subnet. I think it's right here. Yeah, my bad. እዚሁ ጋር ነው ሚስ ያደረኩት። so static IP አድሬሱን መጀመሪያ እንቀይርና እዚህ ጋር okay. So let's make this ይሄንን the same area ላይ እናርገውና I think 7 is available. Let's save this. What was the error? Yeah, 7 is like where we did right now.
Yeah, የምታያቸው ኤረሮች ቅድም ቴስት ስታደርግ ኤረር ያደረጉት ናቸው ሌላ አይደለም።
አይ አሁን እንትኑ ስቀይረው yeah. So this part, so the reason why it's not changing this one is because this one is static. So what we can do is we can make this one dynamic. Okay. Then let's go back here. Now we should be able to save it. Then we're going to make that static. So in was total. So now said but if 1, 8 or 9 is available. Does not belong to the range. I changed it though.
ሌላ ነምበር የመጨረሻውን አድርገህ ሞክረው። ኦልሬዲ ሬንጅ ውስጥ የለም ለዛ ነው።
I see. So it doesn't belong to this hilal. Probably start over now.
የአይፒ አድሬሱን ከቀየርኩ በኋላ የግድ ሪስታርት ማድረግ አለ።
Yeah, it's open right here actually. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, let's restart it. Stop ስለነበረ start and restart it. እዚህ ጋር actually ቀይረውታል ራሱ
አስተርጎ more of because IP address ትልቅ configuration ስለሆነ it needs to be restarted.
Exactly. Yeah, actually ቀይረውታል ወደ ዋን
ያ ላንተ ቀይሮታል ይታያል ግን ኮንፊገር ለማድረግ ይዘገያልና
ልክ ነው ነው so let's see. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, ልክ ነው restart ብዙ ጊዜ it's repeated restart አለው Okay, let's see. Probably restart ማድረግ ይኖርብናል አሁንም because we made it dynamic and no static. ይሄ ነው ማለት ነው የወሰደው so ሌሎቹ ኢሹ የለባቸውም so you guys ቀደም ያላችሁት ነገር so if I add this ለምሳሌ አሁን ለዛኛው የተሰጠው IP address 7 ነው አይደለ so according to you Gabriel this doesn't work if I added this here I can get rid of this one this should work because they are all on the same subnet now
yeah መስራት አለበት because you're on the same እንትን ስለገባ already እነሱ communicate ያደርጉታል እሱ if you remember last time dedicated የሆነ IP assign ካደረግን በኋላ ስታቲክ ልክ እንዳሆነ delete አድርገን እንደ አዲስ እንትን ስናረግ ስታቲክ IP ማግኘት አልቻልንም because አፕሊኬሽኑ ባክኢንድ ላይ ሌላ የተለያዩ ሰርቨሮችን ክሬት ያደርጋል by default የአዙር ትንሽ እንትን እሱ ነው ባክ ያረክ ብታየው ባክኢንድ ላይ እኛ ክሬት ያላደረግናቸው ሌላ ተጨማሪ የሆኑ እንትኖች ክሬት ያደርጋል። ሶ ስታቲክ አይፒውን ማግኘት የማንችለው እዝሊ ለዛ ነው። እና አንድ ዴዲኬትድ የሆነ ኔትወርክ ክሬት ማድረጋችን ይህ አይነት ኢሹን ሪዞልቭ እንድናደርግ ይረዳናል። እና ባይ ዘ ዌይ ኢትስ ቤስት ፕራክቲስ ነው። ጥሩ አካሄድ ነው እየሄድክ ያለው ሚሊ።
Thank you ገብረ።
ተሳስተሃል። ባሮ መጨመር አለብህ። ባሮን ስላላረክ ነው። ባሮ መጨመር አለብህ። You already promoted.
Yeah, በሎካል ዩዘሩ እየገባው ነበረ። So now this is the DC. We should see if the IP addresses have changed. So let's connect one of the nodes and see if now this connect የሚያደርግ ከሆነ so ሰብኔቶቹ ኢሹ ያመጣሉ። That's what we encountered today. Let's RDP to one of the nodes. So ይሄኛው still domain member ስላልሆነ ዊንዶው ፌሎቨሩንም ራሱ ሴትአፕ ሳናደርግ ሰዓት ሄደ። let's run and see the IP address again. ዲኤንኤሱን የሚያሳየን ኦል ስንለው ነው እና I should have corrected this now. Maybe ቅድም የከፈትኩት ስለሆነ ይሁን I don't know. Which one is this one? So this is Varo DC. Did I accidentally close it?
I think የእንትን ኢሹ ነው። ጠብቀው ይመጣል።
Yeah. ቅድምም እንደዚህ ሆነ የራሳቸው ኢሹ ነው። Like I think it was restarting በላዩ ላይ so command prompቱን እንከፍትና we will check for the IP address again. Okay, it looks like this is the preferred. So I think node 1 ከፍቷል. Let's try again. ሪስታርቱ I think ይሄኛው ሪስታርት ማድረጋችን አላስታውስም። ይሄ ሪስታርት አላረግ ነው ማለት let's see what's the IP address here. One more time we can check the VNet. DNS. This is all registered here. So I'm restarting one of the nodes so the change could take effect. In the meantime, let's check something. So this has become is it possible that I didn't turn off the firewalls here? እንትን ዲሲ ላይ ፋይርዎሉን ቅድም ተርን ኦፍ ያደረኩ አልመሰለኝም። ኖዶቹ ላይ ነው ያደረኩት መሰለኝ። Okay. Let's turn this one also off. Okay, restart successfully. Let's connect. Open this RDP password. Okay, we are on node 1. Let's see if this successfully joins the domain controller now. As soon as it refreshes. There we go. So now we fixed it. So የተለያየ እንትን ላይ ሰብኔት ላይ መሆናቸው ነው ችግሩ። So they're sharing one subnet now. So Baro node 1 must successfully join the domain now. ሪስታርቶቹም አንዳንዴ በጣም መልቲፕል ሪስታርት ስላለው አዡር ላይ አንዱ ኢሹ you could easily skip a restart. ያው እንትኑ ኖዱ in the background on the cloud ስለሆነ ብዙ ነገሩ አፕዴት የሚያደርገው after each change ይሄ አሁን የራሱ ሪስታርት ይፈልጋል። So anything that we just did must will take effect after we restart. So we were successfully able to join node 1 into the domain. Let's go to node 2 also. Let's restart because we're restarting Alamaragachin. We were having a lot of issues. So we can check in the DNS to see if the computer that we just added to the domain has joined the domain. So this is on the Baro domain controller. So we went to the tools, Windows Server Manager ላይ so እዚህ ጋር refresh አድርገን ካየ ነው. So this is the Baro DC and this is the Baro node 1. They have kind of ተመሳሳይ የሆነ IP address. They are on the same subnet. So ሌሎቹም join በሚያደርጉበት ሰዓት እዚህ ጋር ሊስት እየሆኑ ይመጣሉ ማለት ነው። So let's wait for the node 2 to restart. Yeah, it has successfully restarted. Let's RDP and see if we can also join this one into the domain. So again, here we're gonna log in with a local user credential. Because this Baro node 2 has not joined the network yet or the domain yet. But after we join the domain, the user that we use to log in will be the domain user. For example, node 1 ላይ already successfully join ስላደረገ after restart. I think restart አድርጓል እዚህ ጋር 4 minutes ago. እሱንም join ስናደርገው የምንጠቀመው local user ሳይሆን የዶሜን ዩዘሩን ነው ማለት ነው። So let's change here.
እዚህ ጋር ከመቀየር በፊት ፋየር ኦን ሁለቱንም ቼክ አድርግ። ፋየርዎል ኦን ነው።
Oh yeah, definitely. We should do that. ይሄም ፕሪቨንት ያደርጋል አንዳንድ ጊዜ። ሶ that's one step that ኖቴ ላይ አሁን ያጋጠመንም ኢረር ወይም ደግሞ ማስተካከል ያለበትን ስቴፖች አስተካክላቸዋለሁ። so you also follow the same. So we're gonna use a single subnet because using a different subnet has caused us a lot of trouble.
ምክንያቱም ኢንትሮዲውስ የሚያደርጉት በራሳቸው አይፒ አድሬስ ነው፣ ግን ለዲኤንኤስ የሚሰጠው የዶሜን ኮንትሮለር አይፒ አድሬስ ብቻ ታስቀምጣለህ። እነሱ እርስ በርሳቸው በክለስተር ኮሚኒኬት ያደርጋሉ። ኢትስ ኖት በአይፒ አድሬስ ኮሚኒኬት ያደርጉት በክለስተር ነው። ስለዚህ የሰብኔቱን አያስፈልግም። ዋንስ ስታቲክ ካረካቸው ኖዶቹን እና የዶሜን ኮንትሮለሩን ዲኤንኤስ ላይ የምታስገባው የዲኤንኤስ አይፒ አድሬስ ብቻ ነው። ከዛ ውጭ ሌሎቹ ምንም አይነት አይፒ አድሬስ ማስገባት አይጠበቅም። ለእሱ አሁን ሁለት ሰብኔት የሆነበት
እውነት ነው። So we're joining node 2 to the baro.com domain. This also might have another issue. I think again we just changed some setting ቀያይረናል እዚህ ጋር again restart ይፈልጋል። a lot of restarts. One of the things that could be easily resolved is by just restarting the machine again. So ይሄንን የቀያየርነውን it might need to restart. I don't see any other problem because node 1 successfully joined አድርጎልናል. As you can see it here. So I'm just going to restart node 2 again real quick. We go to virtual machines, node 2. Let's just double check the IP address to make sure it's static. ቅድም ስንቀያየር ምናልባት ተቀይረን ከነበረ so 15 is static. እዚህም ዲኤንኤስ ውስጥም ተመዝግቧል just like the others. ሪስታርት ብቻ ይሆናል የሚፈልገው። የሚጠቀመው ሰብኔት 2 ነው። so let's just go back, open, restart. A lot of changes for them. I think I need a restart. The firewall setting ቀይረናል አሁን on the Windows server. እነዚህን ሁለቱን የቀየርናቸው አሁን ነው። So as soon as we made that change, we restart the machine. So those changes take effect. While we're here, let's do on node 3 also. እንትኖቹን እንቀያይርና ለአርዲፒ አርገን አንድ one moment. ፋየርዎሉን ተርን ኦፍ ካልሆነ ተርን ኦፍ አርገን መተን ሪስታርት እንለዋለን አብሮ እንዲመጡ። So same password. I think I used caps lock. So ያኛው ሪስታርት አድርጓል ኦልሬዲ ዘግቶታል። So this is node 3. Let's go to the Windows Server Manager, local server, firewall, turn off all the the firewall restrictions, private domain and public. Public firewall off, and we also turn off the enhanced security. And now we go back to the Azure portal and restart it. Node 3, restart. So it looks like 2 might have already restarted. But on 2, just few seconds ago. Let's just open another tab. Open Barrow Node 2, RDP. Download the RDP file and open it. We haven't joined this yet, so we just keep using the local password. But this time we should be able to join into the domain. Because we've changed a lot of things, we made sure they are all on the same subnets. Their IP addresses are registered in the DNS. The firewalls are turned off. The enhanced security right here also is turned off. So now we should be able to join this node 2 into the domain. Yeah, there we go. That's what we want to see. So now to give the proper credential to enforce joining the domain, we use the domain admin user and password. That's why we use the domain name / the admin name. And then we're also gonna do a restart for this after it accepts the password. Okay, that's good news. Welcome to the baro.com domain. So that's how we know that we successfully joined the node. So it's gonna ask us to restart it. So we choose the restart. So node 3 also just restarted. So we're gonna go to the virtual machines. I keep coming here so you can see where we are, launching our tasks. So baro node 3, RDP, download the RDP file, open. We haven't joined node 3 yet, so we use this local password. Okay. So now this should also join because we have set up the network properly. We turn it off the firewalls. We did the restarts, and they are all on the same subnet. The IP address is static. Let me make sure if I did that before I try to set it in. I think I checked it. I wanted to make sure the IP address is static. Yep, it is. Yeah, node 3, worker group, change domain, then domain name, which is baro.com. Okay, that's also a good sign. We enter the domain name and then the domain user after the backslash. The password we used for not the local user, but this time for the domain admin, because that's the credential we use to enforce the foresting or joining the domain. This might be
ሌላኛው ማሽን
oh, ሌላኛው ነው. Oh, it has, yeah, it hasn't finished the restart. It looks like this one though. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's weird because the ያኛው ዘግቶ ነበረ, completely restart አድርጎት ነበረ, so but it popped up. So restart this one also, which also successfully joined, but it doesn't take effect until we restart it. So now all of them have joined the domain. So ሶስቱም ማነው አራቱም ቨርቹዋል ማሽኖች ፕሮፐርሊ ኮንፊገር ተደርገዋል። ይሄኛው ባሮ ኖድ ባሮ ዲሲ ወደ ዶሜን ኮንትሮለር ፕሮሞት አድርገነዋል። ሌሎቹንም ጆይን እንዲያደርጉ አድርገናል። So now we have all the prerequisites for the window failover cluster. We added the features and roles on all of them, node 1, node 2, node 3 አላቸው. We logged into them using baro, which is a domain, / the username with a password. Same for all of the nodes. So they have all joined the network. We have restarted them several times. So this is step starting at 12, which we will quickly do before we wrap up the tonight's sessions, so we could continue the rest on Saturday. Is going to be adding or configuring a Windows failover cluster on node 1, 2, and 3 after they successfully joined the domain ማለት ነው. So here, if we refresh, this is the domain controller baro DC DNS ውስጥ ነው ያለ ነው. That's where we see all the computers listed. Here we go. ባሮ ዲሲ ዋናው ያው ዶሜን ኮንትሮለሩ ነው። ሌሎቹም ኖዶች እያንዳንዳቸው እዚህ ውስጥ ሬጅስተርድ ሆነዋል ማለት ነው. So just to show you where we find that will be Windows Server Manager, which is right here. You open it, we go to tools. Okay, domain controller, እነዚህ ሁሉ additional informationዎች ይኖረዋል because active directory feature አዳርገን ወደ domain controller upgrade ስላደረግ ነው እነዚህን ነገሮች የምናየው ዲሲ ላይ ብቻ ነው። አክቲቭ ዳይሬክተሪ የሚል ነገር ሙሉ በሙሉ ሌሎቹ ላይ ያሉ። ከነዛ ውስጥ አንዱ ብዙ ጊዜ የምንጠቀምበት አክቲቭ ዳይሬክተሪ ዩዘርስ ኤንድ ኮምፒውተርስ ሲሆን to see which computers are registered on our network or in our domain, we use DNS list. Active Directory Administrative Center አንዳንዴ ለአንዳንድ ሴኩሪቲ ለምሳሌ ለዩዘሮች ሃይ ፕሪቪሌጅ አድሚኒስትሬቲቭ ፕሪቪሌጅ ኮምፒውተር ኦብጀክት ክሪኤሽን ፕሪቪሌጅ ምናምን ግራንት ለማድረግ እዚህ ውስጥ እንገባለን። but for now I just wanted to show you where we see the computers that are members of the baro domain ማለት ነው baro.com domain so DNS ውስጥ ነው የምናየው። ለዚህ ነው ዲሲ ወይም ደግሞ domain controller የተባለው it's a place where you control the rest of the domain members which are node 1 node 2 node 3 ከዚህ ነው እንደ መቆጣጠሪያው ማለት ነው። IP አድሬሳቸውን እዚህ ነው የምናየው። so if you want to add for example another node 4 5 ምናምን እያላችሁ መጨመር ብትፈልጉ ያልተያዘውን IP አድሬስ እዚህ ነው የምታገኙት ማለት ነው። ለምሳሌ 17 ተይዟል 14 ተይዟል 15 16 ተይዟል 8 9 እያለ መቀጠል ይችላል ማለት ነው። so that's how we make sure we don't reuse an IP address. ሌላው ደግሞ ያው ዶሜን ዩዘርስ ምናምን ወደፊት ያው ፍሬውም ከበር ያደርጋቸዋል when we get to that part is service account ምናምን ክሬት የሚደረጉት እዚሁ ዶሜን ኮንትሮለር ውስጥ ነው under active directory users and computers. So now our today's session mainly focuses on configuring the Windows failover cluster environment ስለሆነ ዶሜን ኮንትሮለሩን እንደተከፈተ ልተውና let me quickly RDP into all other nodes እና እነሱ ላይ ዊንዶው ፌሎቨር ክላስተርን ቶሎ ኮንፊገር አድርገን wrap up እናደርጋለን. then we'll take questions at the end or we'll have a quick discussion. so ይሄኛው አሁን ኖድ 1 ላይ ሎጊን እያደረኩን ነው ግን እሱ ባይ ቀደም ሎካል ዩዘር ላይ በብዛት እየገባው ስለነበረ ሎካል ዩዘሩን ነው የሚሰጠኝ ግን ዶሜን ሜምበር ስለሆነ አሁን I have to change it. so more choice ብዬው I use a different and then I enter the domain user ማለት ነው. okay so domain admin password ተጠቅሜ okay እለዋለሁ። okay so now since node 1 already joined we just logged in with your domain user or your domain admin account ተጠቅሜ ገብቻለሁ ማለት ነው። so this is node 2 RDP አደርጋለሁ እዛ ውስጥ download the RDP file open it. It's also going to give me a local user and password option, but I'm just going to go with the more options. Use a different account, baro / my username, and then and password. Okay. Should let me in. Yeah, that's node 2. Don't ask again. Just open it. So baro DC, node 1, then next node 2. Okay. Node 2. So let's go now to node 3, and that's the last one. And then we will start working on the window failover cluster. So RDP file, open. I know it's guys, just a few more minutes. So the same thing here, we're going to use the admin, or the baro admin, domain admin user, because we are a domain member now, and now we are we belong to the domain. So the user that we use to log into each source, so we can have the privilege of doing things that we can. Log in with the domain admin manager. So let's go to each node and see what if they have a feature called window failover. Them add scenario put like as that was actually add features. ያሳየናል። በት ዲሲ የፌሎቨር ክላስተር ሜምበር ስለማይሆን የምንፈልጋቸው ብቻ ሞር ከ3 በላይ 4 5 ቢኖረን እንደዚህ እየመረጥን ወይም ደግሞ ኢንዲቪጁዋሊ ኮማንድ ወይም ኮንትሮል ይዘን እንደዚህም መምረጥ ይቻላል። So whichever is easy, you could just drag and highlight all of them. I already added, so just cancel. So add አድርጌያቸዋለሁ እዚህ ጋር ነው። So next, so እነዚህን ኢቫሉዌት አድርግ ያልነው ነው for failover cluster ነው። ሶስቱን ኖዶች ስለምጠቀም ኢቫሉዌት አድርግልኝ እንለዋለን። So run test only. selected test የሚለው የተወሰኑትን ብቻ ክሊክ እያደረግን የምንመርጠው ነው። ግን we want the best recommendation። ስለዚህ ሁሉንም ያለህን ነገር በቃ ቴስት አድርግ እንለዋለን። ኔትወርኩን፣ ዲስካቸውን፣ ኮንፊግሬሽኑን ሁሉ ረን ያደርግና በግሪን ላይት ፓስ እስኪለን እንጠብቃለን። ኤኒ ሬድ ላይት ሆኖ ፓስ ማድረግ የምንችል ከሆነ for a test purpose ወይም ደግሞ for educational purpose you probably could just go ahead and create. Again, it's a best practice to pay attention to any warning. Okay, that
እዚህ ላይ ሚሊ ለምሳሌ አሁን ከኖድ ዋን ላይ ሆነን ይችላል ፌሎቨር ክላስተሩን እየሰራ ያለው ሶ ይሄን አንዴ ኮምፕሊት ካደረግን በኋላ we don't need to do it ኖድ 2 ላይ ሄደን እንደገና እንደዚህ መስራት አይጠበቅብንም።
አይጠበቅብንም። So for right now we are doing the validation ያው ሁሉ እነዚህ ኖዶች ያላቸውን የተለያዩ ኮንፊግሬሽኖች ለምሳሌ በቂ ዲስክ አላቸው ወይ በቂ አይፒ አድሬሳቸው ፕሮፐርሊ ኮንፊገር ተደርጓል የሚለውን አንዱ ላይ ሆነ ያው ሜምበር ስለሆኑ እንደ ላይክ ቤተሰብ በላቸው ቴስት ታረጋለህ። ክሬት ስታረግም አንዱ ላይ ሆነ ነው ክሬት የምታረገው። ግን እንዳልከው አንዱ ላይ ክሬት ካረግ ሁሉም ላይ ነው ፖፑሌት የሚያደርገው ተያይዞ የሚያያዝ ማለት ስለሆነ ማለት ነው በገመድ። ሶ እዚህ ጋር ክሬት አድርገህ ስትጨርስ እና እዚህ ጋርም ብትሄድ the same thing ታገኛለህ። ልክ እዚህ ጋር እዛኛው ላይ የሰራኸው ነገር ይመጣል እዚህ ጋር ሶስቱም ላይ አሁን ባዶ ናቸው፣ ዝም ብሎ ምንም የላቸውም። ሶ ሁሉም ላይ ክሬት ማድረግ አይጠበቅብም።
ኦኬ
yeah so thank you for asking a good question like that because it gives opportunity for others to learn. So the test has completed. You should review the warning ይላል። so warning አለ። warning fix ካላደረግን create ማድረግ አንችልም ማለት ነው basically. or sometimes
that's normal. Just view report.
view report ማድረግ እንችላለን or we could just read it here. But to see the full screen እዚህ ጋር መክፈት እንችላለን። Okay, let's see. Okay, no report. So all the nodes are validated. The warning is network. The network warning ነው ያለን. Storage is not applicable. Okay, all success. እነዚህ ሁሉ successful
ዋርኒንጎች አይጠፉም because የተጠቀምከው IP address ሎካሊ የሚፈልገው ዝም ብሎ ስለሆነ Azure ራሱ ዋርኒንግ ይሰጣል because of ቴስት የተደረገ IP address አይደለም በፕሮዳክሽን ላይ ማለት ነው።
Yes. And plus
if it is installed, you can install it and go to validate. ምንም ችግር የለውም። It's normal warning ይመጣል።
I just wanted to go through so warning እንዳልኩት እኔም some warnings prevent you from actually creating it, but some of them are like recommendation nacho, so you might still be able to create, but best practice ignore ማድረግ አይደለም. Like to go through in the real environment, you're not going to ignore any any warning sign like this. It must be properly investigated and address መደረግ አለባቸው. Of course here create ብንለው አሁን it's going to give us an option to create it because it's like a warning sign ነው recommend ነው የሚያደርገው. I just wanted to go through with you guys, that's why I opened it. So you can create it here ከፈለጋችሁ ወይም ደግሞ ይሄን ዘግታችሁም እዚህ ጋር create የምትላለች. So already validation ስለጨረስን let's just close this one and ከዚህ ጋር create እንበላው so we can see again step by step. So ለcreate ከቫሊዴሽኑን እርግጠኛ ከሆንን በኋላ environment safe ነው ወይም ደግሞ we are able to create failover cluster የሚለውን if we come to that conclusion, we go ahead and create it. So next, so the same thing እንደቀደሙ የትኞቹ ኖዶች ተጠቅመ ነው node create ማድረግ የምትፈልገው ይላል። So browse advanced and then find them. Select only the nodes that you want, excluding DC or domain controller. So okay, then it's gonna list them. So next, gonna give it a name. This name will be like a name that will be listed in the DNS, so we can call it Windows Server Failover Cluster 1 or whatever. You could name it whatever. Baro ምናምን ማለት እንችላለን. Maybe let me use my naming convention. Baro Windows Server Failover Cluster 1 እንበለው. Next. So ሁሉንም ኖዶች ተጠቀም ይላል. I don't want to do that just to avoid bad practice እንዳይሆን የመረጥኳቸው ሶስቱ ኖዶች ስላሉ ሁሉንም ከምለው እቺን አንቼክ አድርጌ ኦሬዲ 3 ስለመረጥኩኝ ሌላ እኔ ያላየሁት ኖድ እንኳን እንዳይገባበት እሱን አንቼክ አደርገዋለሁ። otherwise you might accidentally add a node that you don't want it to be part of the failover cluster. It's just a best practice. Okay, so this is gonna finish in a minute. And then once this is created and properly created on all of the nodes, then yeah, we successfully created the cluster. Okay, finish. It's up and running. Okay, so we can expand. So this ይሄ ነው ማለት ነው። አሁን create ያደረግነው ባሮ ዊንዶውስ ሰርቨር ፌሎቨር ክላስተር ብለን አብሪቪዬሽን create ያደረግነው ፌሎቨር ክላስተር። ሶ ሁሉም ኖዶች ላይ ሄደን ቼክ ብናደርግ አሁን ቅድም አልነበረም። as soon as we refresh this we're going to see that. Okay, so let's refresh it or maybe close and open. Sometimes it might take like a few moments to populate here, but eventually we're going to see it. Okay, we should be able to see it. Come on. Or sometimes if it doesn't show, we can connect to the cluster, but here it is. መጥቷል። some warning issue አለ. we're going to fix it. የመጀመሪያ ላሳያችሁ ፈልጌ ነው። let's check also on node 3. it should also show here. Let's close and open again. Failover cluster manager, open, and there we go. All right, warning sign የለውም እዚህ ጋር። we'll check why we will seeing sometimes perfect አይደለም environment we might see red lights or whatever, but it kind of went away now. so አንዱ ላይ ሆነን ማየት እንችላለን. we don't have to go back to node 1 ይሄን ለማየት አሁን ሁሉም ላይ ማየት እንችላለን። ሴም እንትን ነው። so ዲስክ ሼርድ ዲስክ የላቸውም። ኔትወርካቸው ምን እንደሆነ ማየት እንችላለን። so they using cluster network ነው። ምንም ሮል አላረግንም። ኖዶቹ ያው ሜምበር ኖዶች እነዚህ ናቸው። okay, so pretty much we achieved what we're planning to do today, creating 4 nodes, 1 DC and 3 member nodes, and then properly configuring their IP addresses, adding if we can go here so we can easily summarize. So we did this. We installed 4 nodes on Azure. We connected them with RDPing. IP አድሬሳቸውን ስታቲክ አረግን። እዚህ ጋር ሰብኔት አንድ ብቻ ነው ክሬት ያደረግነው። they all share one subnet. so subnet 1 ልበላቸው so we avoid any confusion later on.
Mili, Ikarta, I'm sorry for
no problem.
But before you go into that, I just want to add one question. So in the failover clustering manager, like I see roles and I see roles, right? Is there any roles we can assign to specific nodes, or what's the purpose of having these roles in this?
Yeah, so እሱ ከዛሬ ቶፒክ it goes beyond today's session, but we don't want to go out of scope. Again, just to give you a brief answer to that. So roles ለምሳሌ if we have instance SQL server standalone instance የሚባል አለ። የፌሎቨር ኢንስታንስ የሚባል አለ። ለምሳሌ if your environment has that kind of SQL server instance እዚህ አንዱ ለምሳሌ አንዱ ሮል እሱ ነው እዚህ ሊስት የሚደረገው። ኦኬ ሶ ሮሉ የትኛው ለምሳሌ if let's say node 1 is the one that's running a SQL server right now ከሆነ this is where you see which node is up and running and which one is down ምናምን። ሶ እንደዛ አይነት ነገሮች ናቸው ሮል የሚባሉት። I kind of I wanted to add one more role. It was just on top of my mind, but I think I forgot which. There is also one more most commonly used role. እዚህ ጋር ሊስት የሚያደርግ so እንደዛ አይነት ሮሎች ናቸው። For now we didn't create anything. We didn't install any SQL. So ለዛ we don't see any role.
Okay, so ኮረም ምናምን የሚባለው ነገር እዚህ ላይ ምንም የምናደርገው setup የምናደርገው setting
Yeah, that was going to be our next Zika option. I mean, step. So I'm going to come back to that. So I just wanted to summarize what we did today. Quorum Zika failover cluster ከጨረስን በኋላ validation run again. So we will set up our quorum in a minute. Okay. So now, ሶስት ኖዶች አሉን. Okay. Node 1, node 2, node 3. These are all members of a domain. So in a number like this, Frey was a few days ago ሲያስተምር አሁን ለምሳሌ ቮት በሚያደርጉበት ሰዓት ይሄኛው ከሆነ በሰዓቱ አክቲቭ ያለው ሁለቱ ቮት ማድረግ ይችላሉና they can decide on who is up and running. so ሁለት ለአንድ ስለሚሆን ኮረሙ necessarily ላያስፈልግ ይችላል ግን we could have a quorum still even in this kind of situation. So ለዛ quorum could be a disk shared folder ሊሆን ይችላል. It could be also a node. So to quorum setup የሚደረገው on any of the failover cluster manager from any node for that matter. እንሄድና right click አድርገን so we go to come down here. Is it in here? Yeah. Hold on. እዚህኛው ላይ ነው። Right click, more options. quorum option የቱ ጋር ነበረ? I'm trying to figure out where we could find to create a quorum. Is it in properties? No. Does anyone know where we create a quorum? I would say, hold on. Not here. Any help, you guys?
You right click, it says configure quorum on the bar.
Configure role.
More actions in the first
yeah.
one. Configure cluster quorum setting.
Yes, exactly. እዚሁ ጋር ነበረ ወደታች እየሄድኩ ነው ያጣሁት. Yeah, it's right here. So yeah, we right click on the failover cluster and then more actions and then configure. Yeah, thank you for that. እዚሁ ጋር ነበረ ስመላለስ የነበረው እዚህ ታች ያለ መስሎ የነበረ እዚህ ለከከላይ ነው። So we configure here the quorum that we need. So quorum የሚሆን additional disk ወይም ደግሞ node ስላላዘጋጀን we could create a folder, a shared folder, but usually the best recommendation for that is ሶስት ያሉ ኖዶች ሶስቱም እንትን ውስጥ ፓርቲሲፔት ያደርጋሉ failover system ውስጥ ማለት ነው like ሶስቱም አሉበት. So it's recommended to have a folder in a node that doesn't participate in a node, I mean in the failover. So we could do that on a for this purpose we could do that on a DC, but it's not recommended. If we had a disk, I don't want to get out of topic, then there is a way to create a shared disk centrally managed የሚደረግ እዚህ ጋር DC ላይ okay maybe I don't want to go far out of the topic. File system, disks. Actually አድ የሚደረግ አንድ ሮል አለ። ኦኬ እሱም ሮል ምንድነው? አይስ
እንትን ላይ ሄድና ፖርታል ላይ ሄደ
ተራ በተራ
ፖርታል አዡር ፖርታል ላይ ሄደ ዲስክ መጨመር ትችላለህ እዛ ጋር።
ያ እሱ ዲስክ አልነበረም የፈለኩት ዲስክ actually it's out of topic, so there is one more አንድ ዲስክ አለ ሴንትራሊ ማኔጅ የሚደረግ ፊቸር አለው እዚህ ላይ እሱም አይስክሲ ዲስክ የሚባል አለ። ይሄ ታርጌት ምናምን ይሄ አይስክሲ ዲስክ የሚባለው አድ ስላልተደረገ ነው። so it will be out of our topic እና ትንሽ ይሰፋብናል። ግን እዚህ ጋር ኖድ ዲሲ ላይ አድ ተደርጎ በሌሎች ሁሉም ኖዶች አክሰስ የሚደረግ ሴንትራሊ ማኔጅ የሚደረግ ዲስክ ሲስተም አለ። so እሱን ልንተውና ለዛሬ በሼርድ ፎልደር እንጠቀም just for this discussion. Again, it's not a best practice to create it on a DC. Just imagine this as being like a aratenya node, amstenya node argachu sadultina. Let's just quorum envelope or quorum folder envelope and now shared እናደርገዋለን across the board. Just so we have something to work with. አይስክሲ ዲስክ ብዙ ሪስታርት ይጠይቃል። አሁንም ያንንም ሪስታርት አርግ ስለሚል it would take forever. So ይሄንን ዝም ብለን ሼርድ ዲስክ እናርገው ሼርድ ፎልደር
and at the same time አይስክሲው ዶትኔቱን አድ ማድረግ አለ ፊቸሩ ላይ አይደለም። so
ብዙ እንትን ያመጣል ግን it's better than the disk. Again, for this purpose I think shared folder is just fine because ብዙ ኮረም ውስጥ አሁን እዚህ ጋር ቅድም ጀምሬ ታውቁት እንጂ select quorum witness ምናምን የሚለው ስንመርጥ you will see in the next page it could be a disk ይላል, it could be a shared file share witness ሊሆን ይችላል, cloud witness ብዙ ነገር ሊሆን ስለሚችል ዲስኩ በዛ መንገድ አድሬስ እናደርገዋለን። ሌላ ጊዜ ማየት እንችላለን but for now since I just created a shared file folder I'm just going to go with the second option. So እንትኑን ኮፒ አድርጌዋለሁ. I'm just going to paste here, next and next. So it could be because it's sitting on DC. Okay. Not been changed. Yeah, it could be because this is sitting on a domain controller.
I think shared for everyone in Milan click argamarta everyone for
yeah, I think that's what I did. Yeah, I did that. I made sure to do that. I can check it again. Or maybe see if there is more of ይሄ ነው አድሚኒስትሬተሩም ፉል ኮንትሮል አለው። I hope ለሁሉም አድሚኒስትሬተሩ አንድ ስለሆነ we could check again and see what kind of sharing did I do. Shared, yeah, we could make this also owner if we want. Read writes, so we can do I don't know if I did it okay malatin alastasum ግን I think I did. Yeah,
እንደዛ
አድርጌያለሁ. Yeah, that I remember doing that. So yeah, that's pretty much how we do, but I think we achieved a big thing here. Next to them በምስንመለስ ይሄኛውን part maybe Oracle ላይ ማድረግ ስለምንችል, but you get the idea. Maybe let's browse and see if it's possible to find this folder. What is that? Yeah, see ያገኘዋል ፎልደሩን ብራውዝ ስናደርግ ራሱ ያገኘዋል። So it's something else. I think it's because it's outside the two nodes and it's also on DC. I think that could be the reason. So but I think that you get the idea. ኮረም ክሬት የምናደርግበት መንገድ እንደዛ ነው። ያሉት ኦፕሽኖች ሶስት ናቸው። it could be a disk, it could be a shared folder, or it could be a node. Okay, so ኮረሙ ሊስት ቢያደርግ ኖሮ we will see you will see it listed in under quorum in here. Okay, so for now we don't have any disk, we don't have any other thing configured. So I think ለዛሬ ይበቃናል. If you guys want to have anything to add or any question, we could entertain that. And ሰው የሚተኛ ሰዓቱም ሄዷል። ሶሪ በመሀል because of network በኔትወርክ ችግር ረዘመ። So anything you guys want to add or question ካላችሁ ዲስከስ እናርግና እንጨርሰው። Anyone?
Thanks Mili. በጣም ቆንጆ ፕሬዘንቴሽን ነበረ።
Thank you. Appreciate the help, guys. Yeah.
Thank you Mili.
Yeah, it was teamwork.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.